What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Today we're doing something a little bit different, not specifically talking about a new technique or tackle, but I'm going to tell you about a tournament that I competed in this weekend on Lake Austin. Was able to get a check, didn't win, but was really proud of how it turned out. It's a tough fishery in the winter, so I'll tell you how I did it. So most of my videos are about the latest and greatest in tackle, a lot of new stuff, that sort of thing. But this one's about a tournament. You know, I don't fish a lot of tournaments, but I do when I can, when my schedule allows. Really like doing that. I fished a media bass tournament. It's an individual circuit on Lake Austin here in Texas. And this lake is tough in the winter. I fished it last year a couple times in December and January, and really, honestly, if you get a limit, you're gonna get a check. I mean, that's how it was in this tournament. I only had 10.5 pounds and finished 8th out of around 45 or so entrants. So a lot of people didn't catch a limit. The way I was able to do it was to narrow down my techniques. You know, I mentioned in a video last week how I was getting ready to practice and I had 10 spinning rods in the boat, which is overkill. It's crazy. But going into practice, I knew I had to narrow it down. I did. I narrowed it down to 5. So there was 5 spinning rods in the boat and 4 main finesse techniques played for me. It was fun. It was really in my strength fishing with a spinning rod. You know, that's not my favorite way to do it. I'd much rather be punching or throwing a frog or something. But, you know, when the bite is tough, when it's cold, spinning rod is hard to beat. Finesse fishing is awesome. I've always trusted a spinning rod, and it worked for this tournament. Again, I didn't win or anything, but this is more about kind of the baits I was used and the process I used for that tournament. If you fish tournaments, this may help you. If not, it may just help you catch more fish out there. So a little bit more about the tournament. It was really windy, cold weather. I knew it was gonna be tough. It's almost impossible to do the whole live scope thing on this lake when it's really windy. You're just blowing around all over the place. So with that being said, it eliminated a lot of what I had planned to do. I was planning to just basically chase fish and throw a minnow at them, but it wasn't possible with the conditions. But I did know where a lot of key pieces of structure were, you know, whether grass or, you know, nice docks and all these different things that I have caught fish on in the past. So what I did instead was use spot lock. You know, I knew where the structure was, stayed way back and cast to it, just blind fishing. Even with a minnow, which normally everyone associates that with, you have to watch the bait or you cast individual fish. No, I mean, I knew the structure was there. I maybe would have been a little more efficient if I could cast right to a specific fish. But in those conditions, just casting blindly to where a fish should be was really the deal. And I caught a lot of fish. You know, I caught over 30 fish. I culled at least 10 times. I caught a lot of short fish as well, but it was just constantly catching fish. It was really fun. You know, on a day when a lot of people struggled to catch fish, I was proud of that I was able to have the right mindset, the right baits, and the right areas, I guess. I started to figure that lake out a little bit. You know, it's still a tough lake. It's definitely not my favorite lake, but I did the best with what I could, and I'll tell you the baits that I was using. So one, I actually broke this off at the end, so there's none rigged up, but you can see here, nothing secret here. This is a Robo Worm, Morning Dawn. These are all chewed up. These are the ones that caught fish. Caught several fish on these, 6-inch on a drop shot. I mean, this is no secret. I mean, you could have these. This could be used everywhere. It was just a great way to cast to that structure, those grass lines, things like that. Can't beat a Morning Dawn Robo Worm. Again, no surprise there. Almost went through a whole bag, which well worth it. You know, they're $4 or $5 and they're good. So they're trusty. You know they're gonna work. They work everywhere. Always got to have those in the boat. The other one still rigged up is a Ned rig. This is the big TRD. This is the Yoga Pants color. Love this bait. It's still a finesse bait, but it is a bigger bait. It's basically like a 4-inch Senko. It's just a 4-inch Ned style bait. I got it on the Northland Tackle Ned head. I really like those because they come in a little bit heavier sizes. So I really like those. Got a good sharp hook on them. And those, caught several fish on that thing. Also caught quite a few on the tail spinner. I've done several videos on this, primarily talking about smallmouth, but it worked great for the largemouth too. You know, it's great for cold weather technique, lifting and dropping, get it to vibrate. Really good. Caught on this one and then another color as well, but this is one I switched to at the end. Looks like a little shad. This is the 1/2 ounce model. Really like the Daracoup. And finally, the minnow. And this one was my first time really using this bait extensively. This is the Mooch minnow from Crush City. Holds up really well. It's got that elastomer plastic. This was definitely the best bait for me. This is the Gizzard Shad color. I would say that I caught 15 fish on this bait, you know, not this particular bait, but I never lost one or I never ruined one. I did lose one to hung up to some wood or something, but that was really chewed up. This is a newer one. Got it on a 1/4 ounce Cypher Fishing rolling mid-strolling head. It's a tungsten head. That thing was great. It looks just like a little shad. You can't beat it. You know, even after the tournament, my son and wife came out and they wanted to go for a boat ride. And I really wanted to check out a few other spots that I never got to. So we just went over there and fished for a few minutes. Still caught fish after the tournament with this bait. So they were really biting some other stuff that I didn't even fish, still with this moosh minnow. So I'm really impressed with that. I'll do a full review of this bait coming up soon, the Crush City mooch minnow. I think the review is going to come out a lot sooner because I'm going to keep fishing this and I have a lot of good insight and I've had good success with it already. So typically I wait a few months to do the review, but this one's going to come soon in the next week or so because I'm going to get back out this week, fish it, and give you some final thoughts on the mooch minnow. There's a lot of buzz about it right now. It's a really good bait and it does catch fish. So I was really happy with that. Really happy with my finish. Again, didn't win, didn't, you know, just smoke everybody, but I was just happy with the way that it turned out, you know, that I was able to fish my strengths, get a check, and happy with that. So can't complain about that. Like I said, a little bit different video today. Typically we're talking about the latest and greatest, you know, product reviews, things like that, but I do fish. I'm out there all the time. You know, I'm not just sitting in my garage in my boat talking about tackle. I am fishing all the time. And these are the baits that were working for me now. And if you like videos like this, let me know. I'll do more like this, mix it up with the tackle stuff. Thanks for watching.